Hello everyone, I am Mrs. Esther Messi. Welcome back to another session of Lesson 1 Power Sharing. Today we will study about the need of power sharing. Every social group need a share in the governance to ensure that their interest would be taken care of. Power sharing is desirable on two grounds. First one is prudential reasons and second one is moral reasons. So first we will look at prudential reasons. These reasons are based on careful calculations of gain and fuses occurrence due to the adoption of a particular style of governance. Power sharing reduces the possibility of conflict between the social groups and the violent upheaval that may happen otherwise. Second, it is seen as a compromise that is sought among the various groups to ensure the stability of the political order. And the third is power sharing is a strategy for resolving dispute over who should have the most powerful position in the social hierarchy. Next will come to the moral reasons. Power sharing is the essence of democracy. A democratic rule involves giving voice and representation to all the people who would be affected by the policies and the rule made. The basic principle of power sharing include first one, coalition government in which nearly all political parties have a just share. Second, protection of minority rights for groups. Third, decentralization of power. And the fourth is decision making by consensus. Now we will look at the forms of power sharing. In a democracy, people are the source of all political powers. People rule themselves through institution of self-governance and everyone including minorities has the voice in the shaping of public policies. So, in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. In modern democracy, power sharing arrangements can take many forms, such as first one is horizontal distribution of power. Power is shared among different organs of government, such as the legislature, executive, and judiciary. This arrangement is called horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs, government placed at the same level, to exercise different powers. Such a separation of power ensures that none of the organ can exercise ultimate power. Each organ checks the other. This results in a balance of power among various institutions. This arrangement is called a system of check and balance. For example, the judges are appointed by the executive, but they can check the functioning of executive or laws made by the legislature. The second is federal government and vertical division of power. Power can be shared among government at different levels, a general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or regional level. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. In India, we refer to it as the central or union government. The government at the provincial or regional level are called by different names in different countries. There are many countries where there are no provisional or state governments. The countries like ours, where there are different levels of government, the constitution clearly lays down the power of different levels of government, and that is called vertical division of power. It is found in Belgium, but not in Sri Lanka. It is also as federal division of power. The same principle can be extended to lower levels of government like the municipality and panchayat. The third is community government. Power may also be shared among different social groups such as the religious and linguistic groups. Community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. In some countries, there are constitutional and legal arrangements whereby socially weaker sections and women are represented in the legislature and administration. This method is used to given minority community a fair share in power. The next is coalition government. Power sharing arrangement can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movement control or influence those in power. In a democracy, the citizens must have freedom to choose among various contenders of different political parties for power. In democracy, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct when two or more parties from an alliance to contest to elections. In their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government and thus share power. The fifth one is the different interest groups. In a democracy, we find the interest groups like traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, and industrial workers. They also have a share in governmental power through participation in governmental committee or bringing influence on the decision making process. So students, here we are at the end of our first chapter in civics. I hope you have understood this much. Thanks for watching this video.